just slide them off the board. Make sure there's enough space between each product. We don't want blonde sides. And 3 seconds of steam, okay? And then I let it bake for 6 minutes, and then I give it another 3 seconds of steam after it's had 6 minutes of baking. This allows maximum expansion in the oven and gives me a beautiful crust on top of my product. If you don't have a steam injected oven, the best thing to do is you bake in a Dutch oven. Heat this up with your oven, place your product in it, score it, bake it, maximum temperature, 20 minutes with the lid on, 20 minutes with the lid off. See how our loaf has pulled off the bottom of the oven, and you get these beautiful rounded sides. So all that shows you that all of our movement has been vertical, and it's pulled the bottom of the bread off the baking deck, and that tells you that you proved your product right, and you guessed the right stage to put in the oven. If I had a wide bread with right angle sides on the bottom of the loaf, it means it's been overproved and it started to collapse in the oven. The disadvantage of baking an underproved bread is it will tear down the sides. So if we have a look at it, if my bread was to tear along the bottom of my loaf, it would indicate that it's been underproved. We ultimately love to have them perfectly proved, and that'll give us the best flavour and the best looking loaf, but obviously we don't do it all the time. These are commercial ovens, so they hold the heat a little bit better, but effectively once you see colour on your bread, it has set its outer crust, and it means you can open and close the doors a little bit. They're not as delicate as cakes, but certainly don't open your door until you see colour on the crust. Ready? So what do we look for in a baked loaf of bread? I look for 3 colours, so a yellow, a golden brown and a burnish. So if we have a look on the loaf, we've got a beautiful yellow colour, golden brown, and just on the very ridges of them, they're slightly darker. And this will give us a broader flavour in our bread. It's not burnt, it's just one of the 3 chemical reactions that's occurring on the crust. We've got the caramelisation of simple sugars, we've got the dextrinisation of large carbohydrate molecules, but we've also got the browning of protein called the MacLeod reaction. And this is what gives our outer crust all of its flavour. So it's got the 3 colours. It sounds like a hollow box, but ultimately we don't know if it's ready until we do an internal temperature check. So my bread should be over 93 degrees, and at 93 degrees, all of our enzyme activity has ceased, all of our yeast activity has ceased, and all our starch is completely gelatinised. So let's cut into it and see what we've got. There we go, there's our internal crumb. So, nice and open, some large holes, some small holes, and you can see that the bubbles are really shiny. That's because of the high acidity that's built up in the dough overnight, and we've got that beautiful soft internal crumb with that really crusty outer crust.